This is the Spencer Colgan show, and we got interrupted with yet another stupid call. And it keeps happening. If I go to airplane mode, then I can't communicate with you through my Bluetooth. I don't know which is worse, but have you ever gotten calls like this? Hey, would you like to have additional medical insurance? Or, are you dying? Have your funeral expenses been paid? Or, hey, would you like to make $1 million next year? Do you get stupid calls like this? Or how about this one? Have you paid off your student loan? I don't know how to stop it, but I keep getting those calls. Okay, so we discharged the material in the hose. We got cut off because of a silly call. And in the meantime, what I did was I discharged nothing substantive. You didn't miss anything substantive if you're looking to find out how to use a Grayco 395. And this goes for any of the Grayco sprayers, by the way, with the exception of the handheld sprayers. The idea is the same, but it's a different system because you do have a primer, but it's a little different. So I'll just stick with the primer. This is the baseline professional painter's sprayer, the Graco 395. That's generally accepted. It's about $1,000, give or take. So now how do we start spraying? We discharged the water in the hose, the water in the system, the lubricant, and then we sucked in the paint, and using the paint, pushing the paint through, the paint pushed out all the water, and now we have paint in the hose system, and we have a complete vacuum. It's all filled with fluid. You know when you wake up in the morning and you turn on your hot water, it's cold, and then you gotta wait. What are you waiting for? You're waiting for all of the water in the hot line to discharge until the hot comes from the water heater to the faucet. Same idea here. We're ready to go. We primed it, we sucked all the fluid in, and now we're ready to go spraying. The tip I'm using is a 211. I started explaining that, and then I got the silly call. Okay, why a 211? The first number on your sprayer tip is, if you double that, that is the fan width that you get from that particular tip. So right now I'm using a 211. How many inches of a fan am I going to get? 4, because I'm doubling 2. This is what you want to use so you don't waste paint. And so I'm doing trim. Even if you got 5-inch trim, you use a 2 something. So sometimes painters won't agree, but I'll tell you what, if you're buying the paint, you're going to make sure that you want to use the least amount of paint possible. And the only way to do that is to use a fan that is the size of your woodwork and no more. You don't want to use something like a 5, because the 5 is going to let so much paint out that you're going to get a 10-inch fan. And what I mean by the fan is when that paint comes out of this orifice, it has a width, and this is going to give you 4 inches, and anything bigger is going to give you a lot more paint that you don't need. Okay, so let's see how I do it. My hose, you want it freestanding. Generally, there's a hose man, somebody holding the hose, so you don't trip on it. Because when you start spraying, what you want to do is you don't want to stop. You flash the paint. Flashing is simply when you stop too long in an area without movement, and then you have a disproportionate amount of paint where you stop, so you flash. The light is going to hit that area, and you'll see it. It's called flashing. Okay, let's try it. Now, I happen to be using an extension. What this does is it adds to the technique in that you don't want to start on the surface on which you're painting. You want to start off surface. Watch this. Direct the camera down here. Watch this. You want to start here. You want to start off the thing because it's going to spit a bubble out. Because there's a distance between the actual spray gun and the tip. This accounts for like a hiccup. Whenever you have an extension, you have to prepare for air bubble to come out. And when it starts and finishes this way, you start off the project and you start off the project. So if I were to be painting this door, for example, I would start on the floor, go up, come back down, and end it on the floor before I release the trigger. And that prevents spitting. It spits out a bubble and it goes onto your paint. All right, let's go. So we're painting this baseboard here, okay? You want to keep a steady flow back and forth. Look how beautifully it lays it out. Now, We're talking about caulking. Okay. Now, what you didn't see was that, you know, like a kid's water gun? You won't be able to see it on the video. When I released the trigger, about a quarter of a second of water gun-like effect came out of the sprayer tip. That's why you don't finish your spraying on the surface that you're painting. You want to keep it off. Trust me, you start off of it and you start off of it and you finish off of the project. Now, one last thing I want to say about this is that we caulked underneath the woodwork. So our woodwork is blocked underneath it. So the spray isn't going to give us an ugly unevenness. We already put caulking underneath it and not above it because we don't care about above. The above it is going to get wall paint. But underneath it is clogged with clear caulking. And so when we pull this off, it's going to look beautiful. Okay? And so there you have it. That's how to paint trim with an airless sprayer. Now, ideally you want to have a mask on, and I have my mask, I just can't talk with it on. So, and that's how you do the rest of the trim. You move quickly, and you just keep going up and down. You overlap 50%. If I'm going to do this door, some painters will change the tip. I'm going to stick with the 211. I'm comfortable with it. What you do is you go up and down and you just overlap each column by 50%. So when you go up one, you're only going to move it over halfway, come back down the same column, 50% of it. Okay, this is Spencer, your wallpaper installer, and I'm coming to you from the Tampa Bay area with another helpful tip. If you like the video, don't forget, click on like. I get thousands of views, very few likes. You don't realize it helps us to make more videos because we take a lot of time out of our day to help you out. So click on like, subscribe to my channel. I'll keep making these videos, and it's going to start being a lot of fun because I'm getting a co-host for the Spencer Colgan Show, where we do wallpaper, woodwork, and paint. Thank you. See you on the next one.